tell the audience why we're talking about episodes 1 through 5 on today instead of maybe 1, 2, or 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Well, it's because, well, I would imagine one is because of scheduling and a lot of things have been coming out, but also at the end of episode 2, where the big thing happens, which I won't talk about yet. You were out on the show. You were like, I can't believe they killed my baby. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe that. I'm out
No,
on this show, which I immediately told you, give them a chance, see what they're building. Obviously, they've been cooking in season 1, and our lead actress has really been cooking, and they've been building a great world. And just let's see where they go. There's still more story to tell. And so you were hesitant and you had to take a couple weeks away from the show to kind of get your brain right.
I did. Well, I thought my brain was right, first of all. But yes, that's pretty accurate. So here's the thing. I'm a loyal girly. I'm a loyal girl. I was there. I didn't realize it until it happened, but I was there for Pedro Pascal. I was there for him. Should be no shocker here. If you know any woman, straight or queer or whatever, to be honest with you, all of us love a Pedro Pascal. That is my husband. A lot of other people claim him. It's very weird. And so when the thing happened, I was like, I don't know what we're doing here today, y'all, because I don't know why you thought I was going to continue watching this show. Now, let's be clear, and Tej, you can speak to this. I am not a game player. I've witnessed somebody play the game, The Last of Us, twice, and I was too terrified back in 2020. So I guess that's part one, Tej. I guess there's two parts. They came out different times.
Correct.
And so I truly did not know what happened in episode 2 was going to happen. I had no clue. I thought we were gonna ride to the end with my 2. Okay. So I was not ready for it. I told Tej, I'm out. You can do what you want to do. We about to watch any other show possible, to be quite frank. So I have to apologize today on What We Watch. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. I apologize, The Last of Us. I was unfamiliar with your game. And I should have been familiar. The signs were there, but the signs were there with Pedro Pascal. Okay, Tej, what are some of the things that you told me when I was like, I'm out, and I don't know why you think I'm playing with you? Like, what were some of the things you told me to kind of like try to stick to it?
Well, I didn't want to spoil things, so I didn't want to give you any plot specific points. But one, uh, I kind of gave you an inclination that where we're headed with the story would be pretty compelling. Also, two, I reminded you of the great performances that we're getting from Bella Ramsey, and
Oh, my
now
girl.
this is now like she's been able to ebb and flow off of Joel. This is a wolf and cub story in season 1. In season 2, we start and they're already at odds, and so now we kind of have the story of Ellie coming of age quite literally when it comes to, now she's got to be the wolf. She can't be the cub anymore. And so that itself is very compelling. And it's a shock when it happened in the show to the people who didn't play the game, but for those of us who played the games, we knew it was coming, but it was still a shock for us because I didn't imagine they would do it so early in this season. Game
Okay.
2 is going to be seasons 2 and 3 of the TV show will be the second game, and I assumed that we would end season 2 with that, and then we'd go into season 3 with the rest of the story, and they would build around that because, Joel dies pretty early in the second game, but not too early, but early enough in the second game to where you don't see it coming. So, I just, wanted you to trust the process and trust what Druckmann
I
is
didn't.
making and trust the creators because this show has been outstandingly phenomenal. And so having the courage to do that to that character that
That
early in the
early.
season shows you how confident they are in what they're presenting. And I also told you that
So
we'd probably have some flashbacks, and it looks like that's where we're going now because
you
Joe
did
pops up
say
at the end
that.
of episode 5. I did say that.
Welcome, Diner in the Dash. How are you? How are you doing today?
Thank you. Happy What We Watch
Happy
Wednesday.
What We Watch Wednesday. It's a great day. Before you go, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Uh,
And I just wanted to welcome you. But here's the thing. I don't know. I'd be shocked at everything that happens on this show. And I'd be completely shocked because I have no experience. I'm one of the girls that while I've read a ton of comics and Marvel, I kind of do my best to divorce myself and go in very blind into a lot of cinematic experiences, and especially with this TV show. So whether it was a video game, a book, comic book, whatever you want to call it, before animated version, I try to experience as much as I can without knowing the lore too much or without knowing what's canon. And so that applied to The Last of Us for me. So every time something happens, I'm like, no way. And then I was reminded, because I knew it in season 1 when it came out, but I was reminded that the creator of the game is also part of the creation of the show. Makes perfect sense. First of all, I'm shocked that the game came out before the show. I'm like, this storytelling is crazy. So shout out to the gamers. Okay. Gamers know what's up. Like we be in the Ghost of Tsushima, we be in the storytelling of it all too. So that might be another situation in where, what we watch also includes video games. But yeah, I was totally out, and I have to apologize because the reason why I'm back in is because of Bella Ramsey. I raised Ellie myself, and so it's very important for me to witness her growth. So I apologize for being unfamiliar with your game. I have to raise Ellie. It's important for me to raise and support Ellie. Diner in the Dash, go ahead.
I had never played the video game. I knew it was a video game, but I'm not really at all. So I had no idea what was coming. I love season 1 though, and I'm a big Craig Mazin guy. And so I
As you
kept the
should be.
faith because of Bella Ramsey, because of the actress that plays the woman that kills Pedro.
Yeah,
I don't remember her name right now,
Abby.
but I love her.
Abby. I
She's
don't
been
know
in a
the
bunch of
actress's name, but Abby, yes.
Yes, she's been in a bunch of
She
stuff that I've
has.
loved. So I'm actually kind of pissed she hasn't been in the show more up to this point. I assume she's coming back eventually.
She gonna come back to die, hun.
But yeah, but yeah. So I hope she has a part to play before she dies.
Go ahead.
But
Her name is
well, I was just gonna
Caitlin Dever,
say,
by the way. Dever or
Caitlin Dever.
Dever.
Oh, Dever. She's great. Yes, thank you. That
yeah,
rings a bell.
yeah, she's in a Netflix show called Unbelievable that I would highly recommend if you've never seen it, and a hilarious movie called Booksmart.
I love Booksmart.
She's great.
Yeah, I should know her
Yeah.
name by now. I gotta type it in. Go ahead, though.
But I like episode 2 pissed me off. I mean, Pedro Pascal dying pissed me off a lot. And I read a review that was like, everyone that's played the game was like so proud of the show for like having the courage to kill
And the
him.
rest of us,
And then everyone that had never played the game was like, I'm going to stop watching. Like, fuck this
we're
show.
done.
And I was like, I get it. I'm right there with you.
And to be honest, Diner, I
But
didn't even know that everybody else agreed with me. I thought everybody would be on TJ's side. I was like, I don't care. The rest of y'all can
well,
watch it. I'm not watching it.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I do have a community. Okay.
Yeah, but I was also further upset because it was the same director that did this episode that did Hardhorn from Game of Thrones. So there were all these comparisons
He
of
did
that
Hard
episode
Home?
2 in the
Hard Home?
battle.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
in the battle.
I literally called myself Hard
Um,
Home Mo for like the longest because I love that episode so much. Thank you for sharing that. Keep going.
yeah, and so there were like a bunch of comparisons I saw between the episodes, but like they didn't develop the characters in the town enough, at least for me. Like, so obviously I cared about the town. I wanted it to survive, but I didn't care about the brother that much and his wife. Like, they're cool, but like, eh. Like when the big monster, like master zombie, was coming after the guy, and it was sort of like the White Walker and Jon Snow. It's like, I've been with Jon Snow for 6 years at this
it's called
point. I am invested in Jon Snow. Like the brother, I could take or leave him. Like Seth's already dead,
it's called the
whatever. Like this is very
bloater,
dramatic,
right?
very well directed.
Bloaters, clickers, and little
Yeah.
little babies. What's the evolution of cordyceps? TJ is
Yeah,
bloaters,
good.
clickers, and what?
Yeah.
TJ, come on, resident gamer.
There are bloaters, clickers, and stalkers, I believe. There's other stuff y'all haven't seen yet, so I won't talk about those.
What? All right.
All right.
Yeah. So go ahead,
So
Darnell.
so basically I was kind of in episodes 3 and 4, like even when they did the town hall, I'm a nerd about like the town construction, especially when you're trying to rebuild the society. And so I was I was happy with the attention to detail that they
Fuck
gave
yes.
to
Fuck
it.
yes.
But I could also see how like a huge percent of the people that are watching the show would sort of find it boring though.
Well,
And like the key, well, I don't know. Maybe more people are into the same weird shit that I am. I don't know. But
Yeah.
they all had to know that Ellie was going to go after him no matter what. And the brother knows she's immune. So is he really like just going to let her go? Like whether her girlfriend comes with her or not, you know, I wasn't sure about that whole
Okay,
storytelling.
I'm into that. I'm
I
into
don't know
that.
if and it was and
I,
and I was and it like compared to season one and all the trauma stuff that her and Joel went through together of season one was so powerful. In the flashback episodes, which I know we're getting one next episode, but we haven't gotten one yet. The flashbacks they did were so compelling in season one. This hasn't really felt just quality wise on the same level as season one. I'm hoping it'll get there, and I still have faith. Um,
but okay. I
but and even like Ellie, the development of Ellie, it's like I understand how being a rebellious 19-year-old can be, but like would she really like even in the first episode when she's taken her best friend in to kill I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the zombies. Like they just go into that gas station like just for shits and giggles, basically, and like she knows she's immune. But she's been through all this shit with Joel, and she's got given speeches about how everyone she's known has died except for
uh-huh.
him. And she has this new friend, like they're not romantic yet, but whatever. She cares about this girl. Is she really going to take her in to fight zombies, like just for the hell of it,
So
after everything she
so
went through in season
so
one?
here's the
Like,
thing. Here's
eh.
the thing. Here's the thing. Here's
So there were little things like that
and
that I felt like throughout the season that I haven't really
and I
hit for me the
wanna
same way.
and
So
I
I guess
wanna let
that's what I would
Tej
say.
kind of speak to that. Thank you, Dinah. I want to let Tej kind of speak a little bit to that because it's interesting. Like I just said, this is based on a video game, and Tej, as someone who's played, and you keep saying you beat them, I need receipts on that.
I have the achievements on my
I
PS5.
would like to see
I
it.
have beat both games, and I don't even
I
beat a
would
lot of games, but I beat those.
I would like to see it. You know who I'm quoting. Um, this show has to be great, right? So some of the storytelling is by design. What percentage would you say is like true to the game so far? I mean, I know we have so much more to go.
You mean the
And
plot?
yes, part of the storytelling. Yeah, like the storytelling of the show, how much of it is close enough to the game so
I would s-
far?
I would say they hit the major plot points and they make small deviations that could mean big changes down the line. So I would say, I don't know, 85%. It tracks close enough to the game, but there are things that are different. And sometimes the big event is the same. Like, for example, Joel dies in the game. Like Abby kills Joel in the game. That's from the game. But the way that it happens and the setup and how they arrive at the same place at the same time is different.
They play with
Uh,
that.
there's in episode 5, the viewers learn for the first time that breathing in certain spores um can make you turn into could infect you with cordyceps. Well, in the game, that's something that's established early, and you could also be bit, but it seemed like they weren't going to go in the direction of the airborne spores could also kill you or turn you into a cordyceps. But now we've got that, but that was introduced into the game. I think that's in the first game, but now we're not getting it into the second season. So it's stuff like that.
So
They
did the game include biting? Yes or no?
Yes, the game, if you get bit, you also turn. So that part is in the game.
Okay.
But there's also a major focus on the airborne
Spores.
nature of cordyceps, also in the games
Okay.
that they're just now exploring. But like the game doesn't have those underground spores they keep alluding to or keep showing. The game
Yeah.
doesn't really have that, or at least not that I can remember. So there are differences, but for the most part, plot point wise, the major tent posts of the plot are kind of there, but the way that we get there is often different.
How good does a show have to be to not, take you out of the situation? Because, I feel like there is such a gap, kind of like what Diner was saying earlier. There's such a huge gap with those of us that didn't play the game or only witnessed someone play the game twice and was really scared and closed their eyes and wasn't even holding the controller. So it goes to like the staying power and like just the production and everything alone. But like as someone who's hashtag read the books, played the games, right? Those people can kind of get annoying, but y'all have been surprisingly like really into the show, really brilliant, and really like into allowing people that didn't play the game to like enjoy it and be shocked by it and be affected emotionally. how is that experience? I mean, because I read Harry Potter, and the Harry Potter movies are on every streaming service every other week. They go around, they make their, runs and decisions because they're so damn great. So like that's the main one I can think of. Invincible, very true to the comics, fantastic. But like is The Last of Us like one of those adaptations that just works so well, and why?
Yeah, because they kind of have rendered the world in a very cool way, and also it's the cast, man. I think Isabella Merced is doing some incredible work in season two, like mind blowing what she's been able to do on screen. That's the kind of stuff that makes you stand. And generally speaking, I hate that I read the book or I read the comics guy because usually I'm
Exactly.
not the person who's read the book or read the comics.
Exactly.
So I'm always obviously very respectful to people who have not played the game because
Yeah.
usually I'm on that side and I don't want to hear about these subtle differences. Like I don't want to hear, oh, they changed this. I don't like that. Like I don't care about those conversations. I care about whether the thing I'm watching is enjoyable or not. And the
Thank you
show
for being aware.
from the beginning has been extremely, extremely enjoyable, very captivating, scary, funny, emotional. Again, I think that goes back to Craig Mazin. Like if you watch stuff that Craig Mazin has done, he's very, very good at making stuff that feels like this. Like The
Hmm.
Leftovers feels like this, right? Like it's a very different story, but there's certain if you could take I could grab certain scenes from The Leftovers and put them side by side with certain scenes from The Last of Us, and they're evoking a certain feeling, and only certain people can do that. And so,
Yeah.
uh,
Um, I've spoken plenty to post apocalyptic shows. This is The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 1 through 5. I guess I should have been clear about that. Happy What We Watched Wednesday. We spoke about Season 1, though, because, yeah, fuck yeah, to be honest with you. And we spoke a lot, about Craig Mazin and his post apocalyptic approaches and stuff. And the Leftovers, like Season 3, is like ranked one of the best television, um, series and seasons in TV history, and there's a reason for that. And so again, once again, Craig Mazin, the creator of the game, Bella, is it Isabella that plays Dina? Is that Isabella or
yes,
Isabella?
that's Isabella
Isabella.
Merced.
Isabella Merced. Wow,
I'm
phenomenal.
pretty sure I just saw her pop up in the Superman trailer or something I watched
But
today.
hell
Like
yeah,
she's getting job.
hell yeah. I mean, Bella Ramsey, like, how much is Baby Girl making? Like, pay her whatever she I like the scene where my girl Tati Gabrielle was in, and she's looking her dead in her face. I said, nah. That's like we're talking about. I don't even want to be disrespectful, but Bella Ramsey is on her like Kate Blanchett path. Okay, like she's on that type of level to me. Like she's on that kind of path as far as like her career, just to be able to do the things that she does on screen, go from sarcastic to like lying to happy to sad to sexual to romantic to just she's so good. And I just can't believe that something that was adapted from a video game is just so perfectly done and produced. Like I am in shock every time. You know what they do very well in this show that I think you kind of said like the big set pieces, right? The big set pieces, and correct me if I'm wrong, TJ, they kind of coincide with the big boss levels or the final kind of cut scenes that transfer you into another level of the game. Yes? Is that
Yeah,
fair?
like for example, the set piece that took place in episode 5, down by where that train was, and like down the subway, like that's pulled from the game, pretty directly. Also, the hospital scene with Bella Ramsey and Tati Gabrielle, like
Ugh.
there's like there's people putting side by sides of certain scenes from the game next to certain scenes from the the screen adaptation, and it's pretty direct. Like the red lighting, kind of that red hue, that stuff comes from directly from the game. Like Craig Mazin had to love this because he's got a lot to draw from in terms of just the way that the show looks, like the way that when you go up to the roof and you kind of look over the city, like that, all that stuff's kind of pulled from the game. Even the way that the theater looks that they're in for season
You
two
remembered
in
that. Yeah.
Seattle, like that is a very, very prominent space in the game where you're kind of holed up. It's kind of like your home base. So that whole area looks pretty familiar, like as they rendered it pretty good from the game. So they're definitely doing a good job of telling a compelling story that if you haven't played the game, you can enjoy. But if you have played the game, they're giving you so many Easter eggs and allusions to things that you can remember from the game in terms of the landscape that they're painting, and it's just incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, Dinah, how do you feel about like the kind of time period that they presented? I feel like some of the dialogue on how we find out how we got here is important. It's the timeline and vocabulary for me that how I know that I'm really tapped into this show. Because like I want to know why the cordyceps were in the plumbing. Like, and TJ, you kind of made a comment to that about like maybe that not being in the game, but like I want to know what a cordyceps versus a bloater versus a spore wall person.
Cordyceps
Or
is the infection that turns you, but then the bloaters, like these are all different variations of the actual zombies, what we call
the
zombies.
infected, that's what they're
Yeah, the
called.
infected. Yeah, so these are
Yes.
different variations of it. And like so for example, the bigger, stronger ones have been infected longer than the ones that are just,
So that's okay.
that's the delineation of somebody becomes a bloater when they've been infected for years and years and years. They keep getting bigger and stronger, like but so there are obviously a lot fewer bloaters than there are other variations, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that makes sense. And Diner, given that, the reason why I wanted to ask you, Diner, because you're kind of calling out some things that like didn't really stick for you. You were like, I mean, does that really make sense? I feel like y'all would have been stopped her. Y'all knew. And to me, I also was really shocked by that as well. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen. Bella's gonna go. I mean, excuse me, Ellie is gonna go and get her revenge, and everyone in the town should know that, given her speech. But now that you kind of understand it's a post-apocalyptic world. There's a timeline in which what are you actually like what is the actual alternative to like what are you going to do, strap her down to the bed and like make sure she doesn't leave, or like send a group of people to try to like like what were you thinking in that? Because the more I thought about it, the more I was like, actually no one was going to stop her anyways. And actually, they did a good job of showing that that kind of town hall vote, people were shocked that we agreed to not avenge this wonderful man. And so a lot of people probably wanted Bella to or Ellie to go ahead and go do that. How did you feel about that like timeline and experience and like, okay, what are we really going to do about that?
I mean, I guess I agree. Maybe I thought one thing was missing that I guess reflects sort of I mean, I would call it mild disappointment. It's not like I'm completely disappointed, but just with the development of characters in the town other than um, Merced, Isabela Merced, um, where if the brother had just sat her down after the town meeting and said, like, listen, like, I know this is what you're going to, 99% what you're going to do, despite what the town voted, because I know you and I know who you are. Like,
Right.
you're in a,
Apologies. Keep speaking.
hello?
Go ahead. Sorry, I think I clicked
Can y'all
a
hear me?
mute button. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Like her being older now, that's why and that's why she was butting heads with Joel before she died, or before he died, excuse me. Um, so like
That's
she's
just
an
so
adult now. She has like just sitting her down and talking about the personal responsibility you have because of your, your health status or whatever. Like you have a
right.
responsibility to everyone else that's still alive. And you should just take that into a consideration before you like recklessly put your life in danger. I guess, like, I don't know, something like that. I guess maybe because I felt like they just sort of brushed over that a little bit too much. And even when she confessed to Isabela Merced that she was immune, I wanted a little bit more of a reaction from from her, where she sort of realizes like we've been fighting these infected for however long they've been fighting them together, and every time they do that, she can die, and Bella Ramsey can't unless she gets. I mean, I assume if they all attack her and like bite her neck at the same time, she'll still die from blood loss or
Yeah, she'll
whatever,
die like from
or
blood
become
loss,
infected.
but
I don't know
not.
what would happen to her. Maybe she would just die. I don't know, and become a corpse. But anyway, I guess they're brushing, and I know it's like when you're that age and you've got some romantic feelings and your hormones are flying or whatever, you can get starry eyed and miss some stuff. But I just feel like they made it maybe a little bit too easy for her with her co-characters in the second season. But I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe I'm being a
interesting.
stickler, but that just sort of, it just didn't feel as like everything was so deep, and the connection, especially just between Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, in their tension, but their ultimate
Oh,
bond was so
interesting.
strong and so deep for like all season one. It's like I'm not quite there with all the characters in this season yet, I guess would be all that I'm
That's
saying.
fair. I think that's fair. I was asking TJ that too because like when you're playing the game, I'm like, how many times TJ do you think I asked you like over under? You can guys, we can literally do a poll here. How many times did I ask you? I was like, this is a part of the game too. Like this character like
Yeah,
actually
a
became
lot.
a part of like. So how did they do that in the wait? So like legitimately they have sex in the game? Like what? Like how did that play out seamlessly in the game? Like, did it play out seamlessly in the game that Dina was there? You're muted. That just felt. I am not going to gaslight
What do you
Diner
mean
to death.
That Dina was where? You mean what do you
That
mean?
Dina like that developing. Okay, because you play the game as Pedro and Bella.
No, so the
No.
especially in the second version of the game, you also
Okay.
play the game as Abby some. You
Okay.
and we haven't spent a lot of time with Abby, but I'm sure that's coming. But you kind of switch between Joel and Ellie in the first game and in the beginning of the second game until Joel dies. Then you go between being Ellie and Abby. And then I'm pretty sure the way it worked in the game is Dina doesn't find out that that Ellie is immune like in that particular space, like in that point in the game. But there is a moment where she finds out. It's played way more dramatically, from what I remember, at least in the show,
The Diner
with
and
her having
Dash
a gun on
joint.
her. I
Yeah.
don't think it's quite that dramatic, and my inclination is that it's done better in the show. I thought that had so much emotional heft, and the stakes
Hmm.
were so high for that. I think those two performances are just incredible in that moment. I
Me
really
too.
love that scene, but it doesn't work like that in the game. She does find out eventually, and I don't remember quite how she finds out, but it's not the way that it's done at the end of that long sequence where they're in the subway. It's not. I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen at that point in the game.
They love a big set sequence on the subway. I tell you what. We still want to see them achievements. Tej. Before we close out, we definitely need to talk romance. Okay. Another aspect of this show for me, and TJ knows, Ellie is still like 10 in my head. So I'm just like, my baby don't need to be doing all that. So I don't know if, like I said, I raised Ellie, so that might
Ellie
be
beats
my
up
issue.
grown men in the show and in the game. She's not 10. Like, she is not 10. She is
She,
grown now. She's a older teenager. She's like, probably in the show 17, 18 range. Like, she's not a child kid anymore.
I thought there
just
was
like,
dialogue that actually said she was 19. I think like when
yeah,
Joel
there
is
is.
talking
Yeah.
to, yeah.
There is. She's still 10 to me, you get what I'm saying? I was so attached to the duo, which is why I had my little attitude, my little temper tantrum about the first couple of episodes in season 2. But I'm not yet sold. So again, Dinah, to like the holes, the reason why I felt the holes in the story, I was like, not they letting this little baby go out there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not a baby. And I'm like, not this little baby fingering somebody. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's not a baby. And so I'm always like reminding myself that this is not a baby. And I think they do a great I don't even think it's them. Like I am apologizing a lot. I'm taking a lot of responsibility here, a lot of accountability. This will be like record this and keep this because that's not gonna happen a lot. Um they're doing a great job because they even open to try to convince the people like me. I know they need to convince people like me. Like she's over there fighting a grown man for training, right? Because she's not 10 anymore, y'all. I'm like, I don't know, but she's like 10 to me. Like, please protect my child. She's the baby of the town. Like, you ain't shown me nobody really younger than her in the town. So she's the 10-year-old of the town to me. But speaking of the romance, I think this is beautiful. I mean, when we get the pregnancy reveal when we get the I'm gonna be a dad moment, when we get the light flashing with the gun pointed to kind of the water dropping to kind of show all the tension every 5 seconds, like I'm standing up in my chair. At one point, I believe I was sitting on the top of my couch. I was shook. I mean, they're doing a great job. Everyone is 100% in on this. I would have loved to be on set or in the room at those table reads or anything because like we're hitting the hard points. But how do y'all feel about the romance? Because there's a what we watch pillar, and it is that everything is a romance. So even when people are getting infected by wheat, everything is a romance. And initially we got the romance with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey's characters to kind of show that. We had a lot of different subplots of like romance as well. And then we get into season 2, and I want to answer Rare AD's question, and Diner and TJ, please jump in as you need to answer this question. But what happened in the hospital specifically that kind of is driving the revenge plot of season 2 is that there were some lies about what it took to leverage the chosen one, Ellie, and her blood to be immune. And I think they do this on purpose. That morally ambiguous kind of approach is a perfect foundation for season 2, right? That's why we're really fucking cooking. Like I'm having a great time. Episodes 3 through 5 made me regret stopping after episode 2 a lot. But in the hospital, right, if you leave some things out about what you're going to do with my child in the blood, I don't think they said it would for sure kill her, but they said it might, and they can't confirm. Is that correct, TJ? Is that how you remember it? It was like, we're not really sure.
You mean in the game or on the show?
On the show, please. This is what we watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the way they did it, but I'm not 100% sure.
You're 100% sure in the game, though? Do you know what happened in the game?
I think that they do it. I think in the game it is very clear that she's going to die, but in the show that I think it's left like we don't know exactly what's going to happen here.
But the scary thing is she's going to die in the dash. Do you maybe remember better?
Well, I just remember it being kind of like medical speak where they're like, there's either thing could happen. She could die or she could live. Like legally, we don't have to tell you it's 100% one way or the other. Not that there are laws anymore, but I feel like that's sort of how they presented it to her, but they couldn't confirm 100% that she would live. So Joel was like, nah, fuck this. I'm not taking that chance. I is how I remember it.
Yeah, I remember them saying so. And maybe we should just all go back and listen or like do one little look up and then we'll get the answer. But I love talking with the community about it. What I remember is, yeah, she might die, like for sure. And it's like, she might live, but like, we're fully prepared for her to die. We need a lot of her blood. So, good luck. And Joel was like, nah, fa. And now we got Abby. Teach, go ahead. Teach, you unmuted. Is he there? Teach, are you there? Anyways, let's go back to the romance, right? Because I wanted to answer that question. Great question, because it matters, right? Because it's the foundation for season 2. How'd you feel about the romance? Can everyone hear me? Am I talking over Teach? Is everyone good?
I don't think Tej is talking. I think you're good.
Okay. Tej, you're like not muted, but we can't hear you at all. I was a little shook about the romance, but it was necessary. It's necessary to give Ellie, honestly, too much. They're giving my girl too much. She's still a baby. I can't. All right. Like, they're giving her way too much. The pregnancy, the avenging of whatever, avenging of Pedro Pascal, on top of like, just protecting the village and whatever the case may be. But you have to bring that to the center of a humanity. What is the true meaning of staying past a post-apocalyptic, situation? And that is because romance, because I love you, because I care about you, because if we do make it another 50, 60 years, I want to make those 50, 60 years with you. So, Darn and Dash, how did you feel about that romance? And then Tej, you can wrap us up.
I agree with you that, you have to think, well, just shout out to my guy in episode 1 that 15 years into a zombie apocalypse still has it in him to hate the gays. Good for you. That's a lot of energy, man. whatever. That was just a funny moment for me. Yeah,
in the town
that's
halls, making sure
dedication to the
everybody knew.
game. You gotta have real hate in your heart. I mean, it wasn't interesting. I mean, obviously, in a post-apocalyptic world, everything happens quicker. But it's like first she's the other woman is straight, and I believe in the first episode she alludes like, "Are you into this one other girl?" There, like, because she's the only other lesbian in the camp, kinda. I don't think we ever even meet her though. And then like Ellie, I think says like, yeah, we dated a little bit, we weren't really into each other or something like that. But like they make out when like they're both drunk and high and whatever. So you just whomst among us hasn't done something like that with someone they don't really give a shit about, who
You're
they
not
might not
allowed to
even
say
be
that.
into as a gender.
Whomst among
You know,
us. Now die.
whomst among us. Yeah. So I mean, and then now they're in love, and it's been like 3 or 4 episodes, whatever. So, but obviously, you can fall in love when at the drop of the hat when you're 19, or probably at any age when you're in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. So it's fine. I do think
again, she's
that,
not 19, she's 10. Am I the only one here? Like,
right,
she's a child.
but well, yeah. I think about like she still looks exactly the same to me than she did in Game of Thrones, which was like 7 or 8 years ago now.
And is that
So
realistic?
she has aged, but
Is it realistic? I feel like y'all aging crazy in the post-apocalyptic world. I feel like
that's
y'all
true.
aging crazy.
That's true.
I feel like it's a little too much stress. Y'all don't have the skincare products. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, but no, well, I don't know how you guys feel about the Asian dude that is the third wheel in this situation now. He
Jesse, my
hasn't really
man, Jesse.
shown much for me as an actor at all, but maybe he'll improve, or maybe he won't be in it as much. I don't know.
Someone look it up. Has he been in something? I think he has.
I
Teach, how
recognize his face looks familiar,
it's
but
so
I don't.
familiar. I feel like
Yeah,
we've seen him in a couple of movies, not like leading or anything, but I feel like we've seen him in a couple of movies. Teach, how are you feeling about the romance? It's because it's pretty heavy right now. It's pretty heavy-handed with the romance right now, as you
I
know how
thought it
I
was
feel.
very well done. I thought it was very well paced, and I think that obviously they've been using Ellie hiding the fact that she's immune as being as also like a uh, kind of an example of being closeted. So to have that come full circle with Dina talking about her own journey in terms of she has always thought that she liked boys and girls, but was kind of forced even in the like down in the dashes, like even in the uh, apocalypse, we still have space for people to be homophobic, and so how they're
Yes.
trying to do that journey and kind of how they showed Dina, like Dina maybe has always thought that Ellie was the one and wanted to be with Ellie, but obviously, given the societal structure and the way that things go, she was trying to make it work with Jesse, and that wasn't the person she was supposed to be with. I thought it was very well done. I was very into it.
Is that conversation also true to the game? Because I thought that was far too profound. Again, if
No, that's definitely in the game.
I mean, this must be the most amazing game.
I mean, not only is it extremely popular, but it's very well done. And I mean, you're watching the result of the storytelling in the game, but that definitely is a plot point in the game as well.
I'm thinking like the best screenwriters of all time are tapped in, a la Succession, the leftovers and everything. Obviously, to some
Was
extent they are,
was
but
the guy who gave them who changed guns with her and had the big moment at the town hall meeting the same guy who was like mad that the two of them were kissing? Was that the same guy or was that a different guy? I couldn't tell.
okay. So to me, I thought that was the same guy.
Okay,
Oh, I
I
thought
think
it
it
was a
was.
different guy. I thought they talked to him at a different
See, I can't
time.
tell.
He came up to them because
She's
he
just
was like
very
old school
problematic.
dude.
Not all white, straight, homophobic men look alike. That's not fair.
He was
Please don't
cooking
be.
at that rally, or at the town hall meeting. He was fed up. That scene, that town hall scene was so good to me.
It
Also,
was hilarious.
my black queen from Queen Sugar is the person who's running the meeting. I love her.
I love her too.
She's like overqualified for the work that she gets on this show, and that's not disrespectful. It's like she is such a great actress, and she's gonna have more stuff to do down the line in the
It,
season if they stick to the game. She's gonna have way more, good scenes, but she is just such a phenomenal actress, and so for her to run that meeting, I love that scene. I was
I love when
obsessed with
she
that
runs
scene.
everything. Yeah, I'm gonna take what you're saying and tie it back into Darren in the Dash. Darren in the Dash, you said the brother not doing too much for you. It's because he's alongside my girl. most of the time. And, she just kind of captivates every scene, like T just talking about. And it's just one of those things. That is just, but so fun though. Like, even, the one that maybe takes us out of the scene the most is still really cooking because the show is just so compelling. And I would just believe that this is coming straight from someone that decided to make a TV show. But it came from someone's brain that was like, I'm going to make the coolest, scariest, most exciting, beautiful storytelling video game ever. Congrats. And yeah, if y'all want to make it into a TV show, we could do that too. I'm almost, and this is, a compliment. This is the highest order of compliments. I'm almost not convinced that he just wanted this to be a video game. I'm convinced he was like, I'm writing this as a TV show. Then he looked at it, he's like, all right, the video game. And then it was just a matter of like who came out first and when, because I'll write a TV show that could be a short film, that could be a feature film, that could be a play, that could be a musical. Like, that happens. I'm just almost not convinced because it's too damn good. It's too damn good. And maybe I'm shading video games, not to say that video games don't have great storytelling, because a lot of times they do. I wouldn't say a lot of times. Enough times they have. I'm a gamer. I've been gaming since I was 4 years old. So, but not always. Like, for instance, if there was a Dino Crisis TV show, right? And that's the power of The Last of Us, because now I'm like, go ahead and make a Dino Crisis TV show. I'm in. They kind of already did that. But, I think it was a movie. But, like, if you want to go ahead and make a Ghost of Tsushima, situation, go ahead and do that. Because it makes sense. And Teej, tell us about the Ghost of Tsushima, please. Because I just kind of alluded to
Ghost
it.
of Tsushima is a great game. That's going to make an incredible TV show, and that's already in development. So we're getting that, and that's another game, kind of like The Last of Us, where there's a lot of story in the game. There's a lot of character acting
Gorgeous.
in the game. There's a lot of gorgeous set pieces in the game, and obviously the world in which the game is set is super beautiful. It's a samurai story, and that's going to make some incredible TV. Like, this is the new, and these games are so
Yeah.
packed with story, and obviously they take their cues from movies and TV, and so now to be able to then turn around and make them into movies and TV is just another step, because these games have scripts, they have actors and actresses, they have
Side
directors.
stories,
Like,
subplots.
we've got
Yep,
everything, so
we do.
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, when they make the Call of Duty movie, tap me in. All right, I want to be in that movie. To be honest with you, Black Ops specifically, I want to be in that movie. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. I had to pay my respects. I will never leave you ever again. The Last of Us. This was our chat for season 2, episodes 1 through 5. How many episodes are there? I don't know. But however many, if there's 70 more, I'm tapped in. If there's 7 more, I'm tapped in. Thank you so much, everyone. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. Tap into The Last of Us, and make sure you check out our What We Watch recommendation today, coming out on all platforms. I'm really excited. It's on Netflix, and it's created by Mara Braca Kiel, just as a hint. Thank you so much, y'all. Ciao.